Hey everybody, it's Gerard Van Wyck here, coming to my first Facebook Live video, so I apologise in advance. There's probably going to be a million mistakes, and I'm sure you're going to call me out on it in the comments, and I'm going to hear all about this from my friends afterwards. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is that a couple of days ago, I made a short little video, and I put it onto Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and wherever our social media presence is. And one of the things that I spoke about on that video was that I had these two epiphanies while I was out walking in the town centre that was really dead. And the first epiphany was all about that right now I think we're all so woefully unprepared for this problem that we have, right? This global crisis, and everyone's quarantined right now. And I think to the extent that we're in a situation right now that because we're all quarantined, if you're not doing stuff online, you're actually not doing anything, right? And I talk a lot about hair and beauty salons, and that's really just because that's my market, but it doesn't really apply to them. It can apply to any market, right? So the other thing that I also realized, I kind of woke up in the middle of the night, and then I realized that my own business is woefully unprepared for this gap on the market. And I shouldn't laugh because it's a serious thing, because I have clients that we service, and I tell them what to do, but I've never actually done what I told them to do because I've never had the need for it. And then this global crisis hit, and we all woke up and things just went completely mental. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be following my own advice, and I'm going to simplify that as much as I can. So hopefully you guys can follow it as well. And I would love if you can follow me on my journey. And if I make mistakes, I'm just going to put my hand up and go, that was a stupid idea. Don't ever do that. And hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. But what I'm also going to ask you is if you have anyone that you can share this with, right? Or anyone you think that can benefit from it, then just drag them along for the journey, and just maybe they get something out of it. I'm not trying to sell anything. And maybe they don't. But either way, I'd love some feedback. What I also want to say is that a week ago or so, I decided to do a masterclass, right? In all the stuff that I know. So I was going to create a masterclass and then sell that off as a package, and obviously try and make some money. But what I did realize is that there's a lot of stuff that I know that I think you know, but maybe there's a lot of questions that you have which I'm not even thinking about in the first place. So what I did is I emailed out to all of my subscriber list, and I was like, hey, do you know what? I have this masterclass and I'm putting the finishing touches on it. If you can give me your questions that you have about social media or just business strategy in general, then I'll try and answer that in the masterclass, and at least make sure that everything is covered. But more importantly, if you give me those questions, then I will just give you access to the masterclass for free, and you can have that. So there's a whole bunch of questions that came out of it, which is really cool. Thank you very much. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm trying to take those questions and maybe simplify the answers. And then over the next couple of days, I'm going to try and answer those questions to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go and find the answer for you, and then we can have a discussion about it. But what I would also appreciate is anyone who's watching this, even if it's a replay of the video, if you have any questions about social media, even if you think it's a silly question, because there's no such thing like a silly question. Just if you don't know the answer, then ask, right? And if I don't know the answer, I'll go and find the answer, and I'll come back to you on it. But put it in the questions, or shoot me a DM on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever you want. And then the last thing I want to say is I want to try and simplify what we're doing here, right? And one of the big problems that I see with social media and advertising on social media, or even talking about social media, is that all these gurus have these buzzwords that they throw out, right? So they throw out stuff like content, and they throw out stuff like conversion, and they talk about lead generation, and they talk about all these really complicated stuff. And actually all I want to go and do is just go, can we just simplify all of this so it's really simple, so normal people like me, because I'm not that smart, if we could just simplify it so it makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to try and do that as well. And the very first point that I'm going to talk about tomorrow would be content, right? Because everyone throws this word around, and I'm not sure if anyone actually knows what's meant by content or posting or all that kind of stuff, right? So this has been really good. If you've got any questions, drop it in the comments below, or if you know of anyone who you think should come on this journey with us, then just invite them along. I'm probably going to go live again every day until this whole thing's over, at least. And hopefully I won't make so many mistakes next time. Thanks for listening. Cheers.